You've probably seen the movies with that creepy, porcelain-faced doll that haunts your nightmares. But what if I told you the real story of Annabelle is even more unsettling, and that the real doll looks nothing like what you see on screen? Forget Hollywood's version. The actual Annabelle doll is a seemingly innocent Raggedy Ann doll with yarn hair and a friendly, painted-on smile. But don't let its appearance fool you. This doll's history is one of the most famous and chilling cases investigated by paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Our story begins in 1970, when a nursing student named Donna received the Raggedy Ann doll as a birthday gift from her mother. Donna and her roommate, Angie, didn't think much of it at first. It was just a cute, vintage toy they placed on a chair in their apartment. But soon, strange things started to happen. They would leave the apartment with Annabelle on Donna's bed, only to come back and find her sitting on the couch in the living room. At first, they thought it was just their imagination or a prank, but the movements became more and more dramatic. The doll would be found in different rooms, in different positions. Sometimes, its legs would be crossed, or its arms folded. One time, they even found it standing on its own two rag legs, leaning against a chair, which should have been physically impossible for a doll of its construction. Things escalated from just moving around. Angie and Donna started finding small pieces of parchment paper in the apartment. On them were messages written in what looked like a child's handwriting. Words like, "Help us," and "Help Lou" appeared. This was incredibly strange, because they didn't even have parchment paper in their home. The Lou in the messages referred to their friend, who was often at the apartment and had expressed a deep-seated dislike and fear of the doll from the very beginning. He warned Donna and Angie that there was something evil about it, and that they should get rid of it. They didn't listen, thinking it was just a harmless, spooky phenomenon. Their perspective changed drastically when the activity turned from mysterious to malicious. Lou's warnings seemed to make him a target. One night, he awoke from a deep sleep, completely paralyzed. He saw the Annabelle doll at the foot of his bed. He watched in terror as it slowly glided up his leg, rested on his chest, and then began to strangle him until he blacked out. He woke up the next morning, convinced it wasn't a dream. Another time, while he and Angie were planning a road trip, they heard a noise from Donna's room. Lou went to investigate, but found the room empty, with Annabelle sitting innocently on the chair. As he turned to leave, he felt a sudden, sharp pain on his chest, as if he'd been clawed. He looked down to see 7 distinct claw marks, 3 vertical and 4 horizontal, bleeding through his shirt. The bizarre part, the marks healed almost instantly, disappearing completely within 2 days. At this point, Donna finally accepted that they were dealing with something far beyond their understanding. They initially contacted a psychic medium. The medium held a seance and told them the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins, who had supposedly passed away on the property where their apartment complex now stood. The spirit said she felt comfortable with Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them to be loved. Feeling compassionate, the nursing students gave the spirit permission to inhabit the doll. This, according to Ed and Lorraine Warren, was a critical mistake. When the Warrens were finally called in, their conclusion was far more sinister. They explained that spirits of the deceased don't possess objects. It's inhuman spirits, or demonic entities, that do. This entity had lied about being a little girl to manipulate Donna and Angie, gaining their permission to stay. Its ultimate goal wasn't to play with a doll, but to eventually possess a human host. The moving doll, the notes, the attacks, it was all part of a staged infestation process to instill fear and create an opening. The Warrens believed the entity was just days away from latching on to one of the roommates. Ed Warren performed an exorcism right in the apartment to cleanse it. For safety, the Warrens decided to take the doll with them. The drive home was treacherous. Ed reported that the car's power steering and brakes failed repeatedly on winding back roads, nearly causing several fatal accidents. He had to stop and splash the doll with holy water to make the interference stop. Back at their home, the doll's activity continued. It would levitate and appear in different rooms of their house. Fearing for their family's safety, Ed built a special, blessed glass case to contain it. To this day, the real Annabelle doll resides in the Warrens Occult Museum in Connecticut. It sits inside that glass case, with a sign that warns visitors, positively do not open. It's said that even from within its prison, its influence can be felt. A priest who once visited the museum, skeptical of the story, mockingly tapped on the glass and challenged the doll. On his drive home, he was involved in a near-fatal car crash that he miraculously survived. The doll remains a chilling reminder that some objects are more than what they seem, holding stories far darker than any Hollywood script could ever imagine. Thank you for watching. If you found this story fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious cases. See you next time.